Welcome back, guys, to another Rise of Kingdoms drama of the week. It is your boy Schmuck. It is great to see you guys again. As usual, we're going to be having a countdown of some of the greatest highlights of last week, and just to show you guys a tiny glimpse of what happens around Rise of Kingdoms. I know when I used to play Rise of Kingdoms, sometimes it just feels like you're in a bubble in your own kingdom, and sometimes your regional kingdoms in your KVK. But believe it or not, so much happens in this game, and I'm here to showcase that to you on YouTube. So if you do like the videos, do subscribe. It helps me a ton, and do like the video so that the YouTube algorithm helps this video get a wider reach. Now, without wasting any more time, we're going to get straight into the first segment, which is a tragic story of an evil player, apparently a content creator too, named Dragon Queen. Don't be fooled by the name. She is no queen, because apparently she tricks players into giving her their accounts, and I genuinely don't know how these people fall for these tricks. They clearly haven't seen any of my drama of the week videos of pilots going rogue. The first victim of her cruel tactics was a T5 cross-migrant who trusted her free piloting services. Guys, what do I ever tell you? Nothing is free. Do not allow any free piloting in your accounts. Anyways, she went completely rogue on the account and ended up getting the account zeroed by the kingdom. Not only that, but she also deletes the equipment and deletes the troops on the account, so you don't even get the remaining troops in the hospital. This girl is a complete menace, and she's just out here to destroy any humanity left in Rise of Kingdoms. Clearly, she's an expert of what she does, because this is not her first rodeo. The next victim is another T5 cross-migrant, and this time she just completely wipes the account as she is speaking to his alliance members. Without going rogue this time, she just deletes the troops inside the account and tries to dismantle and delete the equipment. She locks the owner from the account so he's unable to do anything. Again, I don't know how she's able to do this, but she is in full control of the account, and I'm not sure why she's targeting this specific kingdom, 3500, because she did used to play with them in KVK2, and then she migrated back to KVK2 again. Her main account is currently safe in 3498, but I'm not so sure what will happen after her kingdom and her alliance sees what she gets up to in her spare time. Number 3 on the list is a betrayal story, and in this segment it shows you how not to negotiate for the star. I've seen some terrible negotiations in the past, but this by far has to be one of the worst I've seen. I mean, in this segment, it teaches you how not to act in diplomacy. This betrayal story is regarding this particular KVK where Earth and Fire were allied against Wind and Water. From the information I've received, it seems like Earth fought Wind, who was the stronger enemy, and they fought for 3 days in Zone 5, whilst Fire had an easy time against Water, only lasting 4 hours or so of fighting. Eventually, Earth lost their Zone 5, and they needed a bit of help from Fire to get into Kingsland, and due to all the battles in Zone 5 and beyond, Earth managed to beat Fire in DKP by a huge difference. Earthcamp says that DKP should be the main factor for who gets the star in this KVK, and that they deserve the star because they got higher DKP. Fire doesn't agree with this at all and get extremely aggressive and condescending in the diplomacy chat. And this is the part where I have to come in and say, this is just out of pocket. Whoever this person is in Firecamp's diplomacy team, he's doing a lot of rookie mistakes. And if you've been in diplomacy long enough, you could tell diplomats like this don't last long in leadership or diplomacy in general. The last thing you want in diplomacy is your own allies belittling your efforts, especially when you fought for 3 days straight against the toughest opponent in your KVK. To cut it short, Earthcamp felt that Firecamp crossed boundaries with these accusations, and they felt like Fire, or at least some of the alliances in the Fire camp, don't deserve the win. And the issue with belittling your allies like this is that it causes unnecessary tension that may escalate to having your allies talk to your previous enemies for reassurances in any case of any fighting happening. To play it safe, Earthcamp decided they needed to ally with Windcamp in case anything happens, and they decided to push Firecamp out of Kingsland completely. And now, just to be clear, Firecamp did say that they had no intention of betraying Earth this KVK, and they simply just tried their luck for star negotiations. Unfortunately, they spoke a bit too loudly, and the person that they sent for diplomacy chats basically caused all of this panic in Earthcamp, and it caused Earthcamp's leadership to ally with Wind and push them out of Kingsland before risking anything with Firecamp. Now, if you ask me who's at fault here, I do believe both camps are at fault here because of poor communication. EarthCamp didn't really do the best job at communicating exactly what was the main factor for the star in this KVK, and Firecamp shouldn't have been this condescending and this rude in the diplomacy chat. And then also we have this jumpy guy from EarthCamp who's also at fault here for making such pointless statements like this. And I understand that he's excited to fight, but he needs to be very clear and very concise regarding rewards from the beginning and not brush them off and cry about them at the end of KVK and call for betrayal. In conclusion, it should be clear cut for what the main factor for the star is at the beginning. Don't brush them off at the very beginning because they are very, very important at the very end. It is usually DKP that determines the winner of the star, but in some weird cases like this where it's not clearly communicated in the beginning, you will end up in a weird situation like this. Unlike the previous betrayal, this betrayal is quite clear and very, very obvious. There's a bunch of screenshots of WhatsApp messages going around of the planned attack and the planned betrayal. It's not a conspiracy, but just to fill you guys in, this is a KVK 3 betrayal. Again, the betrayal is over this bloody star. I swear, what is up with these kings and leadership killing their kingdoms over an image of a star on their alliance logo? It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, this is in a young kingdom. It's a KVK 3 betrayal, 3488 being the winners of this KVK and having the highest DKP were to get the star, but their next door neighbors 3495 had different plans. They decided to plan a surprise attack, the enemy's CC'd kingdom, to kick 3488 from Kingsland. Unfortunately for them though, a lot of the plans from this surprise attack were leaked and it reached 3488 before they could do this surprise attack. 3488 were prepared when the time happened and they managed to prevent this betrayal within 4 hours and lock them out of Kingsland. Now this is a funny situation to be in. Imagine being the A seed of your KVK and your B seed demands the star whilst having less DKP, and when that doesn't work, they conspire against the A seed with the enemy A seed and still lose in the battlefield. Completely humiliated, and from these screenshots, it really does look like these guys were very excited to betray 3488, which to me is very, very hilarious because of just how it ended up at the end. Now our last segment is a weird one because initially I had someone contact me about a high-powered account that supposedly got hacked and griefed and somebody deleted his troops. But once I got properly into the story, it became a bit more clear about what happened to this account. Essentially, it's a native Korean whale who powered up to 187 million power, then unfortunately broke MGE rules not once but twice and got punished for it. He got 0 to 53 million power, and apparently this Korean whale zeroed his previous kingdom that was in pre-KVK 1, then migrated to 3549 and thought he could do as he pleases, but he just doesn't know that he doesn't stand a chance against these cross-season migrants and that his Charles Martel is just not invincible, even if he's at 180 million power. To get this much power as a Kraken, he must have spent at least $40,000 to $50,000 within that short period of time he's had on the account, and in the end, all of these troops down the drain. Remember guys, if you migrate to a kingdom, respect their rules, otherwise there will be consequences. I did manage to get the footage of him being zeroed. Shout out to my boy Firefly, another content creator who has covered this exact same story, so do check him out and show him some love after this video to get the full story. But this is the video of him being zeroed by cross-season migrants and going down all the way to 50 mil power. And that is it for this week's video. Don't forget you can also submit your videos or screenshots to Drama of the Week on my Discord. So if you want to join or if you want your clips featured, please submit it through my Discord. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video next week.